Hey, this is Gecko Mayhem. This is another Godforge video. It's Alpha 2 week, coming up in 3 days time. We will all be launching into Alpha Wave 2, complete with bug fixes and changes and things like that. Ready for another 10 days of action, of testing the Cavern of Chaos. Today, I am going to go through the patch notes. There was a lot of feedback from Alpha Wave 1, and the team has gone ahead and they've not only implemented changes and are implementing changes, they have released some patch notes for us. Could be a bit hard to read the patch notes on this screen unless I zoom in, but I'll go through them as fast as I can. You can always go back, re-listen, that kind of thing. So first of all, big changes. So they couldn't be happier with the feedback they got. They did get a lot of feedback. They've been vital, obviously. Today they have the patch notes aimed at fixing key pain points in the experience. That's very important to note, that our experience with the alpha led to the changes that they are making. And they've improved the balance of heroes and so on. So first of all, they've added this thing, hero unbinding. Some people would have noticed, especially if they were farming a lot, that they ended up with a lot of heroes and didn't have a really good way of dealing with those heroes except to try and level other heroes with them. So they've added hero unbinding, where you can exchange your hero for experience and their spirit form. It allows you to convert those heroes who don't make the cut in your roster into valuable resources. So you can see here there are 1-star spirits, there are 3-star spirits, 2-star spirits. So the uncommons are 2-star spirits, and the blue ones are now 3-star spirits. So different spirits that you can get when you unbind your heroes. As it says here, common heroes 1-star, all the way down to epic and legendary with 4 and 5-star spirits. Of course, with anything else similar to this, unbinding cannot be undone. So once you've unbound your hero, boom, you've got a spirit. You can't get your hero back. Right, they've rebalanced the main part of the game that we've been testing, and that is Cavern of Chaos. The caverns present exciting moments, yes, absolutely. They want to be a fun experience as well as challenging. Heroes have been given new powers and will have increased resistance or accuracy after floor 90. So once you get past floor 90, you're going to find that the enemies that you face have higher resistances and more accuracy, which means debuffs and disables are going to land on your team a bit more. They want us, the Scions, to explore greater team building moments and bring buffs and debuffs into our teams to have that control instead of trying to just nuke stuff down. So they said there was a pain point with the economy balance, and they have made steps to make farming critical resources and armor easier. So doubled Ascension Alchemy Stones. So instead of 1 to 3, you'll get, I guess, 3 to 6. Increased 2-star spirit drop rates. Very nice. Stage 120, I guess that means stages 120 plus, now grant any armor slot with higher quality. So that's perfect. Once you get to stage 120 and above, you can farm on particular stages and you're not just going for boots or just going for shoulders. And rebalanced ability upgrades for better reward distribution. I'm not exactly sure what that means. So Fafnir was a bit tame apparently, the level 150 Fafnir. In Alpha 2 they've increased Fafnir's power to provide better challenges at stages 150 and 151. So I got to stage, I think it was 131. I think it was stage 131, but I got past stage 120, which I was happy with. Next up, UI improvements. I've listened to the feedback and bug reports, and they're trying to improve the UI. There are a few reports that I made regarding the UI with hero Ascension? I don't think it was Ascension. It was that other one where you upgrade the skills. I reported issues with that. There was also a UI thing that I reported there regarding mousing over to see what the skill was that you were upgrading. This is what they are improving, I guess, among other things. I've heard that people were struggling with mobile touch points, so on a mobile device where you would slide things to in that. They've increased the UI interaction and buttons, and it should lead to a smoother experience when upgrading your heroes. Fantastic. Good. The most requested feature was a way to see the realm of your heroes in the roster. The realm? They've added a realm flag. I think that means faction, right? So that maybe they're calling them realms now instead of factions, because we know that each of the factions, the heroes from each faction, are from a different realm and have come to whatever this outer realm is when they were all blended. I need to rewatch the starting cinematic again, because it explains quite concisely what's actually going on, why you are a scion, and why there are heroes from all different factions, or what they're calling realms now. Next up, camera update. The battle camera, especially against bosses, was a little too close and tricky to see the action. The team's been working on testing new angles, and they're releasing updated camera angles for all 3 camera points. Point of view, POV, replaces the deaf version and is awesome for a truly cinematic experience. Then we've got top, which they haven't changed, it's still called top, if you want a larger view from a more static angle. And then act, standing for active, replaces the 3/4 camera and is a balance between point of view cinematic and the top larger view. I was using 3/4 all the time because I really like that isometric view of your team. You can see the battlefield, you can see your team, it's not jumping all over the place. I actually liked 3/4, but we'll see what actually happens with these new camera angles. They're looking forward to everyone experiencing the new viewpoints as they continue to learn what scions want to see in the battle experience. Before I move on in the patch notes, I'm going to show you these new camera angles and what they've done with the camera, the changes to the camera. So let's take a look at that. First up, we have POV. So here we see up the top, they've changed it to POV camera, point of view. And it starts as a kind of 3/4, and then whichever character is taking their turn, it zooms behind them, so it's their point of view. So you're getting to see that character's point of view. Fafnir comes in, this will be good, because more than one hero is actually going to take a turn here, and we'll get to see the actual point of view. Okay, so when Anubis takes a turn, it shows him, and then Lady Shock. We've got Isolde doing her buff. When it's a buff on your team, it's a frontal point of view. It zooms right in when she does another buff. And then we get to see Leonidas here going in, and Anubis doing his attack. It doesn't actually focus fully on them when they're doing their basic attack. Right, next up, we have top. So the top point of view was behind all the characters. It starts at a 3/4, and when they go in for their attack, we move to that point of view that is behind the characters, what they're calling the top view. So on her turn, top view, it zooms to behind everybody, so you can see all 5 of your characters, or 4 if it wasn't a boss fight, and the enemy team directly in front of you. So Fafnir comes in again. We'll see this top view one more time. Each time a character takes its turn, it shows your whole team from behind. They're still doing that swivel thing. I just saw Shishi doing a swivel. That's kind of annoying, that swivel thing that they're doing. I really hope that along with the camera angles, they fix that weird swivel glitch. Right, here we have another top view. So we'll see it go to behind them as the characters go in and they attack. There was that weird swivel you would have seen. Really hope they fix that. So we're just having a different fight here where we can see the top view. So it stays back behind the team unless they do their ultimate, where Leonidas does his massive ultimate, and the ultimates have their own camera view, obviously. So last wave here, I guess. The fixed angle from behind, that weird swivel thing happened. I quite like this, the fixed angle behind your team, looking from up above behind them. I wish it was zoomed out a little bit more. I wish that it was fixed but zoomed out a little bit more, or perhaps they'll give us the ability to actually zoom in and zoom out a little bit. So when we go to this top view, back behind them, maybe they'll allow us, the weird swivel, maybe they'll allow us to zoom out a bit so it does look a little bit better, so you're the sort of god's eye view of the heroes that you're commanding in battle. Okay, here is the first active view. So it starts out at the 3/4, and each time they go in, oh, that was really jumpy. It is focusing a bit on the character who is active. I guess active means... Oh, whoa, that was really jumpy. It's jumping all over the place. Okay, I think they've broken 3/4 view. We'll get Fafnir to come along. Very cool semi-cinematic as Fafnir comes in. I really like this. At least they got this right. Okay, so we start out 3/4 when it's their turn, it jumps. They're doing the swivel too, but it seems to be jumping from that 3/4 to still 3/4, but they haven't. It doesn't seem to be doing a lot. Let's take a look at the next one. So here's the second example of the active view. Oh, jumpy, so jumpy, and that looked like top view for a second. So not terribly active because it's not moving when the character went in for their turn. Get past the ultimate here, and then hopefully we'll get to see another wave, a final wave. Be a fair judge of this. So it starts at 3/4, which takes a turn, and it does this little jump. It feels like an unnecessary jump. Yeah, I'm really not a fan of what they've done with this. I wish they'd just stuck with a fixed 3/4 view, to be honest. Jump. I think I see what's going on here, though. I think this video is about to end with the little swivels and whatnot. So, yeah, I think I see what's going on here. Starting out at a 3/4 view, and it is going back to almost a 3/4 view, that perspective, but it's a little bit further zoomed down, so it looks like it cuts and it jumps, and yeah, really not a big fan of what's actually happening there with what they've done to the 3/4. I think I might be sticking with top going into it this time, if these are the new looks, and we'll see once the alpha kicks off in 3 days time whether we have a bit of control over the zoom. Alright, in battle info, they already knew, right, that buffs and debuffs were going to be hard to read in battle, and now they've taken strides forward to introduce a brand new in-battle info experience. It can be viewed via the info button, so you can click the info button, it brings up this, my team, enemy team, you can look at them, you can very clearly see what the buffs, debuffs and disables are on everybody when it's your turn, and because it's a turn-based thing, you can very carefully just diagnose what's actually going on there. This is the first iteration, they say, and they plan to improve on this. Well, thank goodness. It's looking actually pretty good. They definitely need to improve the in-battle buffs, debuffs, and disables icons, placement of the icons, size of the icons. It just needs to be improved. They've increased the quality and size of all effects in battle. So we'll see. We'll see once the alpha kicks off whether they're big enough and whether they're clear enough. Bug fixes galore. Well, a lot of people reported bugs and issues, and they're pleased that we did. They cannot thank the community enough for how passionate they have been, we the community, in helping them to deliver the game that they want to deliver for us. All of our feedback has been received, and whilst we have some bugs remaining, we've fixed over 100 bugs between Alpha 1 and 2. So in less than a 2-week period, they have gone and they've nailed down over 100 bugs that have been recognized in the game. Bugs related to combat freezes, disables, and locks on Fafnir and Golden Guardian, many critical performance issues have been addressed, making Alpha Wave 2 experience a more stable and reliable experience. So, who's the Bifrost Guardian dude? The legendary that I had, the Frost guy. He, I can't remember his name, but he was causing a lot of memory leaks and game experience issues and stuff. The roster of heroes awaits your next descent, so we're going to have to start again, rebuild a roster, and they've updated a number of the heroes to better balance their power. These changes include updates to their damage multipliers, the divinity, and upgrades to their abilities. In some cases, they've updated hero abilities for a better balance of the game. This is not an exhaustive list, however, there are a few that they have tagged as significant updates. So we've got changes to some that I was using. Achilles I was using. I tried using Beowulf, but didn't really get into him. I didn't have Dracula. Heimdall, that's it. So they have made changes to Heimdall. He was fantastic. Who else? I tried Imhotep, didn't find him terribly great as a healer. I only just pulled Leonidas near the end, so I didn't get to play with him. I didn't have Musashi. I had Odin, so good to know that they're making changes to Odin. Of course, I'm going to get different champions this time, aren't I? So we shall see. I didn't have Quetzalcoatl. I had Shamash, but wasn't a massive fan of him. Tristane, hopefully they'll fix that weird graphical bug with him. Either Agoch, or who they call YDG, who I did not have, but looks like a really cool champion, and Zeus, another significant change. So it says these heroes in particular, Zeus, Shamash, Hel, Dracula, Beowulf, and Aphrodite, have received more significant updates than the other champions to better balance their ability set and to fix game-breaking mechanics that led to a negative player experience. In some cases, perhaps they were scaling way too much and being overpowered. Perhaps in facing them as an enemy, they were too overpowered against you, and so on and so forth. Bug fixes here, hero roster promotion and upgrading. So the following bugs have been fixed. Many passives were previously not working as intended. Thank goodness they've fixed that. Cooldown bonuses from ability upgrades would not apply to heroes. So they mean if it was a 5-turn cooldown and one of your ascension things, are they called ascension? I can't remember what they're called. The improvement to your skills could reduce the cooldown. It actually reduced the cooldown on it. Hero promotion could sometimes fail and block the player from upgrading heroes. What a nasty bug. Imprint abilities would not show up. I think I had that one. Several issues with text descriptions for abilities. I did report at least a few of those. One of them I remember was on Mordred. Removed an unintended experience where rapid extraction could grant multiple imprints. Ooh, that's almost game breaking. Added missing awakening bonuses for several heroes. Oh good, that's nice. I think Sphinx was missing, that's it, awakening, right? Awakening is the skill upgrade. Sphinx was missing the awakening bonuses for at least a couple of her awakenings, a couple of her skills. So the following bugs in battles and rewards have been fixed. Imprints were not working on heroes unless they were awakened. Good. It's good they've fixed that. Lock debuffs could be placed on Fafnir, which they shouldn't. Fafnir and Golden Guardian could lose turn meter and divinity permanently. Oh, that's almost game breaking. Retaliate and counterattack caused the battle to freeze. Is that what was doing it? Ah, so it was retaliate or counterattack. I remember reporting that. I wasn't sure what was causing that. Debuffs that cause damage could trigger retaliate and counterattack. Interesting. That's really quite nasty. Infinite Musashi counterattacks. I wish I'd seen that bug. On some stages, Isis and Horus would permanently counterattack each other. Oh my gosh. Hercules could never die. Jeez Louise. Acid debuff could reduce your stats instead of the enemy. Yes, that was a nasty bug, that one. Shinigami animations were not playing. Oh, glad they fixed that. Heroes would vanish when some ultimates were cast. That's a weird one. Tristane and some heroes would display pink VFX. It was quite funny seeing that, actually. Several challenges would not complete despite them being met. Oh, good that they picked up on that. Beowulf could deal tremendous unexpected damage to bosses. Yep, sounds like his max HP thing was scaling too much. Some stages granted Aetherstone rewards instead of hero. I noticed that. I did not report that as a bug. I just thought it was really weird that we were getting Aetherstones and we can't go into the Godforge and use them. Disabled heroes would not play animations, but now properly play their disabled states. Okay, that's good. Fixed an issue causing players to be able to repeat claiming, I guess they mean 1-star rewards. Wow, imagine that. Hey, I got a reward for completing the stage for the first time. Oh look, I've completed it a second time and I got my reward again. Oh look, I can keep repeating it. I can keep completing it and repeat the reward. Whoops. Improved memory performance and game stability. That is a big one. Hopefully we can just keep running the game for ages. Well, that's everything that I have for you for today. I hope that you enjoyed the camera angles look. I hope that you enjoyed my going through these patch notes. I hope that you're pumped for Alpha 2 coming on Thursday. I will be streaming extra long on Thursday. I'm going to do an extra long stream, almost like a double stream, probably with a lunch break in the middle. But however it pans out, I'm psyched for Alpha Wave 2, ready to get back into the Cavern of Chaos. I'm ready to see these patch notes applied. I'm ready to see what changes have been made. I'm ready to record information, gather data, test it all out, try to break it again, and I'll see you there.